Robbie. Welcome everybody to Miami in the World Baseball Classic presented by Capital One on Fox. 3 semifinal slots are filled and the final one is up for grabs as Shohei Ohtani, the 4-time MVP in the major leagues, his Los Angeles Dodger teammate, last year's World Series MVP Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and the Japanese reigning world champs take on a stacked Venezuela lineup with a chance to head to the Final Four of the WBC. So we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Adam Amin, the World Series champion, AJ Pierzynski, Tom Verducci is with us as well. We look at this Venezuela lineup. They come out of a very difficult pool. They just fall to the Dominican Republic in what was essentially a pool championship game. This is a dangerous, very impressive lineup for Venezuela.
Well, it all starts and ends with the Venezuelan lineup. You have Ronald Acuna, Luis Arraez, Gino Suarez. You have Salvador Perez in this lineup hitting 8th, who's been a perennial all-star and probably going to the Hall of Fame. This lineup does it. They hit for power, they take extra bases, they can steal bases, and they are exciting as it gets. If they get ahead early in this game, Adam, and this crowd behind us gets into it, it is going to be tough to slow them down.
We know what the Japanese are capable of. The reigning WBC champions have won 11 straight games in the WBC. They went 4-0 in pool play in the first 3 games where Shohei Ohtani played. He impressed, of course.
What is this, a surprise?
No.
Shohei doing something special on a huge stage. It seems like what he does. But the other thing about this lineup is they're deep also. It's not the household names. Yes, you have Ohtani at the top. You have Akamoto, who's come over to the Blue Jays. You have Murakami, who's come over to the White Sox. You have Yoshida with the Red Sox. But the other guys can do some special things too. So that's just because the Venezuela lineup is so stacked, maybe bigger names, this Japan lineup is also loaded.
And that's why this pitching matchup, worthy of a Major League Baseball playoff series, is featured tonight as Ranger Suarez, one of the great playoff pitchers of this decade, squares off with last year's World Series MVP.
Might be one of the best pitching matchups you'll see in the WBC with Yamamoto and Ranger Suarez. 2 big game pitchers, 2 guys who know how to slow their heartbeat. This is the matchup you want with these lineups versus these pitchers. I can't wait.
Dominican Republic, the United States, Italy for the first time, and 1 remaining semifinal slot is up for grabs as these 2 countries square off in the WBC for the very first time. It's coming up next.
Tonight in Miami, two of the world's great baseball powers collide. Japan and Venezuela, with a trip to the semifinals on the line. For Japan, the reigning champions arrive with the game's biggest star, the incomparable Shohei Ohtani.
One-of-a-kind player! He is not human!
But across the diamond, Venezuela answers with a supernova of their own. A loaded roster led by the dynamic Ronald Acuna Jr.
Back and well gone. Another home run for Ronald Acuna Jr.
It's a quarterfinal clash of the Titans in the latest chapter of the World Baseball Classic.
In what has been a fabulous week plus of baseball, a wonderful WBC, and a great matchup with one semifinal spot up for grabs. Venezuela and Japan, and it'll be Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the bump for the Japanese. Down to the field, and Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Adam. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is one of the best big game pitchers in the world. That's not hyperbole. That is proven fact across 3 countries and 2 continents. Tonight marks the 6th time since 2023 that Yamamoto will take the ball with his team facing elimination, whether in Japan, the WBC, or MLB. In the previous 5, Yamamoto is 5-0 with a 1.38 ERA. But if there is a flaw in his game, it may be batting 5th in the Venezuelan lineup. Ezequiel Tovar is 7 for 10 with 2 home runs against Yamamoto. The most hits and most home runs by anyone against one of the best pitchers in the world. Adam.
Only he and Manny Machado have multiple home runs against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yamamoto, who had the fabulous finish, complete game in Game 2 of the World Series. Comes back in Game 6, 6 excellent innings in a victory, and then the next night, the final 2 2/3 in that legendary Game 7.
First pitcher to win 3 games in a World Series since Randy Johnson. Here's his usage: 4-seam fastball. The splitter is unhittable when he's throwing it close. The curveball he drops in for a strike. The other pitches he uses to get ahead and put batters away. The thing about Yamamoto, if you're Venezuela, you have to make a decision. Do you try to jump him early and chase him that way and be aggressive? Because if you fall behind and he's throwing strikes early, you're done because he punches you out with the weapons. Or do you try to be patient and pitch count him out?
And at the very top of the Venezuelan lineup is somebody who can jump on the first pitch, as he already has done in this WBC. It's Ronald Acuna Jr., part of a stacked Venezuelan lineup.
Acuna will get the first pitch if Yamamoto lays one in there for him. But this rest of this lineup: Garcia, Arise, Suarez, Tovar. This is a deep, deep, dangerous lineup.
For Omar Lopez, who is the 2023 manager for the Venezuelan national team, which fell to the United States in the quarterfinals. He is the bench coach for the Houston Astros. And they are looking for their first semifinal appearance in 17 years. And it'll be Ronald Acuna Jr. starting it off. Boy, he and Ohtani, a couple of leadoff guys at the top of these orders. Think about that as you see the stars abound in Miami tonight. Very much a partisan crowd in favor of the Latin American country in Venezuela, but plenty of Japanese fans in the building. Away we go as Yamamoto deals a curveball to start the night. The quarterfinals in Miami are underway between these 2 countries meeting for the first time. It's a 1-0. And Acuna puts a charge into one. Deep right center field. And what a way to start for Acuna. He's done it again. Exactly what we talked about, exactly what Omar Lopez talked about when we chatted with him in the pregame, as Michael Garcia fouls one back.
Well, it took him to the second pitch, though.
Yeah, not the first one.
You want to know about respect for Ronald Acuna Jr.? Yamamoto has a great fastball, 97, 98. First pitch curveball, throws it for a ball. Second pitch fastball deposited to right center in Lone Depot, which is not easy.
Garcia skies one on the infield to the left side. It will be Okamoto, newly acquired now Toronto Blue Jay.
Trying to go in, he just doesn't get it there, and that's not a terrible pitch, but Acuna Jr. is so strong, stays inside of it, just destroys this ball to right center. Most right-handed hitters, Adam, cannot hit a ball like that to right center, and then if you see the Venezuelan bench and the reaction, electric.
Now here's Luis Ariz, who has shown some power in this WBC. He'll take a strike on the corner on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. A 2-home-run game against Israel earlier in this tournament. A rare multi-homer game for the 3-time batting champion in Major League Baseball. Splitter in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Second home run of the tournament for Ronald Acuna Jr. Jumping on Yamamoto early. Ball and a strike on Ariz, who fouls it away. Ariz, between the WBC and Major League Baseball, has 3 career multi-home run games. They've all come in this ballpark. Remember, a former Miami Marlin who loved hitting in this park. He's done it twice in the WBC, including in pool play. He's only hit 36 homers in his Major League career. 1-2 pitch is in the dirt.
This is where the Luis Ariz at bats you feel like starts. Once he gets to 2 strikes, he's so hard to get to swing and miss. He's so hard to strike out. Yamamoto's going to have to be careful because some reason in the WBC, like Omar Lopez, their manager, said, he steps it up when he has Venezuela on the chest with the power.
Waits for a 2-2, and that one came close to clipping him. And runs the count full. Those who didn't watch pool play, there is a pitch clock. There is replay. There are pitch limits as well. The pitch limit from pool play to the quarterfinals increases from 65 to 80. Ariz bounces one foul. We are expecting, though, both pitchers to still be around the 65 pitch area max in this quarterfinal contest. In the semifinals and finals, it goes up to 95.
Every one of these foul balls counts, though. It just is quicker and quicker to get Yamamoto out and get to the bullpen.
This will be the 7th pitch to Ariz. Another 3-2. He fouls another one away. You see the Japanese manager, that is Hirokazu Ibata, a former shortstop for Team Japan, played in the WBC 13 years ago. He remembers a semifinal loss to Puerto Rico. 3-2 pitch, and Ariz skies it again. Backing up is the shortstop Genda, and he's got it for the second out. After the Acuna home run, Garcia and Ariz retired.
Can't get enough of watching that swing on that pitch. That ball's middle in-ish, Adam, and he crushes that ball to right center. That's what makes people just different. You see certain people, and I played Major League Baseball for a long time, even Yamamoto nods his head to him. Guys shouldn't be able to do that.
Suarez takes a strike. A high one at that. And Suarez did not appreciate that call on the high strike from Major League umpire Chris Siegel. Dan Iasonia, the crew chief, at first. Michael Tibibijo and Tim Meyer at second and third from Colombia and Germany, respectively. On the ground to third is grabbed by Okamoto. Rest of the side retired in order, but it was Ronald Acuna Jr. getting things started and staking Ranger Suarez to a lead in his second WBC, hoping to get Venezuela somewhere it hasn't been in 17 years.